All India Radio presents Morning News. Good morning, I'm Sunil Verma and with me is Saira Mujtaba. The headline: Prime Minister Narendra Modi and German Chancellor Angela Merkel discuss Afghanistan situation, emphasize on giving urgent priority to evacuation of stranded people. Union Education Minister Dharmendra Pradhan to launch major initiatives of National Education Policy 2020 today. Centre announces national monetization pipeline to raise 6 lakh crore rupees over the period of next 4 years. Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman asks Infosys to resolve glitches in e-filing portal by 15th of September. India sets a target to achieve $400 billion merchandise exports in current financial year, says Commerce and Industry Minister. India's COVID-19 vaccination coverage crosses 58 crore 82 lakh mark. 2 terrorists, including top commander of Lashkar-e-Toiba, killed in an encounter in Jammu and Kashmir. And in sports, Paralympic Games begin with glittering opening ceremony in Tokyo today. Rio Olympics gold medalist Mariyappan Thangavelu to be India's flag bearer at the event. As the nationwide free COVID-19 vaccination campaign at government facilities for those above 18 years is going on, we advise our young listeners to get vaccinated and also help others get vaccinated. We also advise our listeners not to lower their guard as COVID-19 remains a threat to our health. Please stay at home unless it is essential to go out and continue to follow these 3 simple steps. Wear a face mask, maintain 2 gaz ki duri for social distancing, and focus on hand and face hygiene. For any COVID-related information and guidance, contact national helpline numbers 011-2397-8046 and 1075. And now the news in details. As our nation celebrates the 75th year of independence, a series of events is being organized by the government as a part of Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav. To commemorate the occasion as a Jan Utsav, All India Radio News brings its listeners a special quiz on India's freedom movement and its glorious history. The quiz is being conducted every Monday and Tuesday in the morning news since 16th of August and will continue till 15th of August 2022. India Post has joined hands as the logistics partner with All India Radio News from the Amrit Mahotsav quiz. Recalling our yesterday's question, name the commission set up by the Britishers in 1920 to probe the Jallianwala Bagh massacre. The correct answer is Hunter Commission. The evidence General Dyer presented before the Hunter Committee stood as a confession of the brutal act he committed. AIR News got an overwhelming response from its listeners across the world, and the one lucky winner of the quiz is Law Kumar from West Champaran, Bihar.
आजादी का अमृत महोत्सव.
And coming to our 4th question of the Amrit Mahotsav quiz. Who set up the underground secret radio station during Quit India movement, and on what date did its first broadcast take place? May I repeat? Who set up the underground secret radio station during Quit India movement, and on what date did its first broadcast take place? Listeners can send their responses to the question over email on amritmahotsavquiz@gmail.com. One participant will be selected as a winner and will be declared in tomorrow's morning news. Winner will be awarded an e-certificate and a token prize.
And now the news. Prime Minister Narendra Modi spoke to German Chancellor Angela Merkel last evening and discussed bilateral, multilateral and regional issues, including recent developments in Afghanistan. While discussing the unfolding security situation in Afghanistan and its implications on the region and the world, both leaders emphasized the importance of maintaining peace and security, with the most urgent priority being the repatriation of stranded people. On the bilateral agenda, the 2 leaders discussed issues including cooperation in COVID-19 vaccines, development cooperation with a focus on climate and energy, and fostering trade and economic relations. Mr. Modi and Ms. Merkel exchanged views on issues of multilateral interest such as the forthcoming COP26 meeting and the Indian initiative to promote a dialogue on maritime security at the United Nations Security Council. They emphasized commonality of perspectives between both sides on promoting inclusive cooperation in the Indo-Pacific region. Mr. Modi and Ms. Merkel reiterated their commitment to strengthen the India-Germany strategic partnership. The government today said that 78 more people, including 25 Indian nationals, have been evacuated from Kabul from war-torn Afghanistan. In a tweet, External Affairs Ministry spokesperson Arindam Bagchi said, Air India flight is en route to Delhi from Dushanbe in Tajikistan, carrying 78 passengers. He said evacuees were flown in from Kabul on an Indian Air Force aircraft. Mr. Bagchi said India is helping in the safe return of the people from Afghanistan.
The government will brief the flow leaders of all political parties on the situation in Afghanistan on Thursday. In a tweet, External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar said, Prime Minister Narendra Modi has instructed that Ministry of External Affairs will brief the flow leaders. Parliamentary Affairs Minister Prahlad Joshi said, flow leaders of political parties would be briefed by External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar on the present situation in Afghanistan on 26th August at 11 a.m. in Parliament House Annex. He said, invites are being sent through email and all concerned have been requested to attend. India has so far evacuated nearly 600 people from Kabul in Afghanistan after Taliban took over. India is carrying out the evacuation missions in coordination with the US and several other friendly countries. India is airlifting its nationals through Dushanbe in Tajikistan and Qatar. The External Affairs Ministry has urged all Indian nationals in Afghanistan requiring assistance to contact its Special Afghanistan Cell immediately. It has set up the Special Afghanistan Cell to coordinate repatriation and other requests from Afghanistan. The United States has evacuated over 10,000 people from war-torn Afghanistan in the past 24 hours. In a statement, the White House official said, nearly 28 American military flights evacuated approximately 10,400 people from Kabul. Since the 14th of this month, the U.S. has evacuated and facilitated the evacuation of approximately 37,000 people. Since the end of July, they have relocated approximately 42,000 people. The officials said, in addition, 61 coalition aircraft evacuated approximately 5,900 people from Afghanistan. U.S. President Joe Biden has said efforts to evacuate people from Kabul airport are accelerating, with U.S. troops expanding the perimeter around the site. Union Education Minister Dharmendra Pradhan will launch major initiatives of National Education Policy NEP 2020 today. In addition to it, the minister will also unveil virtually a booklet on one-year achievements of the NEP implementation prepared by the Department of School Education and Literacy of the Ministry to commemorate 1 year of the implementation of NEP 2020. The initiatives to be launched by Mr. Pradhan include the National Initiative for Proficiency in Reading with Understanding and Numeracy NIPUN Bharat FLN tools. The Education Minister will also inaugurate resources on Diksha and Virtual School on National Institute of Open Schooling. Speaking after the launch of the policy, Prime Minister Narendra Modi said the new education policy will give new fillip to the education system in the country.
हम कितना आगे जाएंगे ये इस बात पर निर्भर करेगा कि हम अपने युवाओं को वर्तमान में यानी आज कैसी शिक्षा दे रहे हैं, कैसी दिशा दे रहे हैं। इसलिए भारत की नई राष्ट्रीय शिक्षा नीति को इतना आधुनिक बनाया है, इतना फ्यूचर रेडी रखा है।
Karnataka has become the first state in the country to officially implement the National Education Policy NEP 2020. Union Education Minister Dharmendra Pradhan virtually launched the NEP in the state yesterday. Speaking on the occasion, Mr. Pradhan said, Karnataka has set an example for other states with the implementation of the National Education Policy. The admission module under the new policy was also launched on the occasion. At the event, Chief Minister Basavaraj Bommai announced that the state will launch a policy of digitization and research and development under the new education policy. Under the digitization policy, degree-level students will be given iPads for digital learning. Mr. Bommai said there are 180 research and development centers in Bengaluru which can be accessed by the students under the new policy. Union Minister for Finance and Corporate Affairs Nirmala Sitharaman launched the National Monetization Pipeline NMP last evening in New Delhi. NMP comprises a 4-year pipeline of the central government's brownfield infrastructure assets. National Monetization Pipeline estimates aggregate monetization potential of 6 lakh crore rupees through core assets of the central government over a 4-year period, that is from 2022 to 2025. Addressing the media, the Finance Minister said that monetization of assets are necessary for creating employment opportunities, thereby enabling high economic growth and seamlessly integrating the rural and semi-urban areas for overall public welfare.
National Monetization Pipeline is talking about brownfield assets which need to be better monetized. Ownership of assets remains with the government and there will be a mandatory hand back. They'll have to give back after a certain time. So let there not be any confusion, this government is selling away. No, these are assets, brownfield, which will be still with the ownership of the government. This is a transition. You're bringing in greater innovative ways of private participation.
The estimated value corresponds to 14% of the proposed outlay for centre under the National Infrastructure Pipeline worth 43 lakh crore rupees launched in 2019.
Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman took a meeting with the MD and CEO of Infosys, Salil Parekh, in New Delhi yesterday to convey the deep disappointment and concerns of the government and the taxpayers about the continuing glitches in the e-filing portal of the Income Tax Department. Ms. Sitharaman sought an explanation from Infosys for the repeated issues being faced by taxpayers. The Finance Minister emphasized that there is a need for putting in more resources and efforts on the part of Infosys so that the much delayed delivery of agreed services is ensured. Mr. Parekh was also sensitized on the difficulties that taxpayers were facing and the problems that are arising on account of the delays in the functioning of the portal. The Finance Minister demanded that the issues faced by taxpayers on current functionalities of the portal should be resolved by the team by 15th of next month so that taxpayers and professionals can work seamlessly on the portal. Commerce and Industry Minister Piyush Goyal has said that India is working in mission mode to achieve the target of $400 billion merchandise exports in the current financial year. Mr. Goyal yesterday interacted with the industry associates and discussed measures to enhance and increase exports. He said merchandise exports for April to August this year are up by 71% as compared to 2020-21.
India has emerged as the second most sought-after manufacturing destination across the world. According to Cushman & Wakefield's 2021 Global Manufacturing Risk Index, India has surpassed the US as the world's second most desired manufacturing hub. The rising focus on India can be attributed to India's operating conditions and cost competitiveness. It said reforms to both land and labour laws are critical to India's success as a global manufacturing location.
The government has launched Amrit Mahotsav App Innovation Challenge 2021 for Indian entrepreneurs and startups. Minister of State for Electronics and IT, Rajiv Chandrasekhar, launched this challenge in New Delhi yesterday. The Innovation Challenge has been launched in 16 categories, including culture and heritage, health, education, social media, skills, news, games, agriculture, business and retail, fintech, and others. Speaking on the occasion, Mr. Chandrasekhar expressed hope that startups, budding entrepreneurs and youngsters will participate in large numbers in the challenge. The Innovation Challenge will be available on innovateindia.mygov.in and the last date of submission of entries is 30th of September this year.
You are listening to the morning news on All India Radio. A reminder of the headlines before we move on. Prime Minister Modi and German Chancellor Angela Merkel discussed Afghanistan situation, emphasized on giving urgent priority to evacuation of stranded people. Union Education Minister Dharmendra Pradhan to launch major initiatives of National Education Policy 2020 today. Centre announces national monetization pipeline to raise 6 lakh crore rupees over the period of next 4 years. Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman asks Infosys to resolve glitches in e-filing portal by 15 September. India sets a target to achieve $400 billion merchandise exports in current financial year, says Commerce and Industry Minister. India's COVID-19 vaccination coverage crosses 58 crore 82 lakh mark. 2 terrorists, including top commander of Lashkar-e-Taiba, killed in an encounter in Jammu and Kashmir. And in sports, Paralympic Games to begin with a glittering opening ceremony in Tokyo today. Rio Olympics gold medalist Maria Pantangavelu to be India's flag bearer at the event. For quick news updates around the clock, follow us on our Twitter handle at AIR News Alerts.
In Jammu and Kashmir, 2 terrorists, including a top commander of Lashkar-e-Taiba LAT terror outfit, were killed by security forces at Aluchi Bagh area in Srinagar city last night. Police said a raid was conducted on a specific location based on the input about the presence of terrorists in the area. One of the terrorists has been identified as top LAT commander and self-claimed chief of the Resistance Front TRF Abbas Sheikh from Kulgam. The other terrorist is his deputy and district LAT commander Saqib Manzoor of Barzulla, Srinagar. Talking to AIR News, IGP Srinagar Vijay Kumar said it is a big achievement of security forces in killing the top commander of LAT.
श्रीनगर पुलिस को इन्फॉर्मेशन मिला था कि श्रीनगर सिटी में 2 टेररिस्ट छिपे हुए। पुलिस का एक छोटा टीम जिसमें पुलिस के 10 कमांडो थे, उसको हम लोग कोवर्ट में सिविल ड्रेस में भेजे और जब मिलिटेंट के पास पहुंचने के बाद कॉर्डन डाला तो हम लोग उसको वार्निंग दिए। मिलिटेंट सरेंडर करने के बजाय पुलिस को फायरिंग किया। रिटेलिएशन फायरिंग में 2 टेररिस्ट मारे गए। जब उसका पहचान हुआ था उसमें एक अब्बास शेख था जो सबसे पुराना LAT का कमांडर था और अपने आप को TRF का चीफ बोलता था और दूसरा ट्वाइसी था डिप्टी कमांडर जिसका नाम साकिब मंजूर था, श्रीनगर सिटी का ही रहने वाला है। दोनों बहुत सारे किलिंग में, पॉलिटिकल किलिंग, सिविलियन किलिंग और पुलिस के किलिंग में इन्वॉल्व था। दोनों के किलिंग के बाद यहाँ के लोगों में, अवाम में, खासकर श्रीनगर सिटी के अवाम में काफी राहत महसूस हुआ। ये पुलिस के लिए बहुत बड़ी कामयाबी की बात। जहाँ तक सोपुर के इनकाउंटर है, उसी के फॉलोअप में हम लोग एक कल रात ऑपरेशन लॉन्च किए थे सोपुर में, जिसमें अभी तक 1 टेररिस्ट मारा गया है। ऑपरेशन चल रहा है अभी।
India's COVID-19 vaccination coverage has crossed 58 crore 82 lakh mark. The cumulative figure stood at 58 crore 82 lakh 21,623 till 7 p.m. as per the provisional report yesterday. The Union Health Ministry said of the total vaccinations, more than 45 crore 55 lakh vaccine doses have been administered as first dose and 13 crore 27 lakh vaccine doses given as second doses. The ministry said over 56 lakh vaccine doses were administered to the beneficiaries yesterday. It said the vaccination exercise as a tool to protect the most vulnerable population groups in the country from COVID-19 continues to be regularly reviewed and monitored at the highest level.
The Chhattisgarh government has issued revised guidelines for those arriving in the state by flights from other states. According to the fresh guidelines, air passengers administered with both doses of COVID-19 vaccine have been exempted from carrying a negative RT-PCR COVID report. Remaining air passengers will have to produce at the airports a negative RT-PCR report of the test conducted within 96 hours of boarding the flight from outside Chhattisgarh. Earlier, the state government had issued guidelines regarding mandatory COVID-19 test report for air passengers.
West Bengal has administered 2 doses of COVID-19 vaccines to over 1 crore people till now. With this, it has become the 4th state in the country after Maharashtra, Uttar Pradesh and Gujarat to inoculate more than 1 crore population with both the doses against COVID-19 infection. This is All India Radio giving you the news.
Azadi Ka Safar every day with All India Radio from Monday the 16th of August. As part of Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav, News Services Division of All India Radio brings to you the story of glorious struggle and sacrifices of freedom fighters on 100.1 FM Gold channel in the English news bulletins at 8:30 a.m., 2 p.m. and 8:30 p.m. Stay tuned.
Now let's listen to our special program Azadi Ka Safar.
आजादी का अमृत महोत्सव
Azadi Ka Safar with AIR News. Birth of a Nation. India's glorious freedom struggle is one of the greatest struggles the modern world has ever witnessed. AIR News brings you a glimpse of the struggle every day. Talk of freedom movement is never complete without the mention of Bhagat Singh, Rajguru and Sukhdev, the three legendary freedom fighters who made the supreme sacrifice to break free from the shackles of slavery. The entire nation plunged into gloom on the early morning of 23rd March 1931 when these iconic freedom fighters were hanged in the Lahore jail.
Today we bring you the story of Shivram Hari Rajguru, who was born on 24th August in 1908 in a Pune village called Khed to Parvati Devi and Hari Narayan Rajguru. His birthplace of Khed was renamed as Rajguru Nagar in his honor. He joined Seva Dal at a young age. He was a member of the Hindustan Socialist Republican Association founded by Ram Prasad Bismil and Sachindra Sanyal and others.
In today's episode, we also talk about a renowned freedom fighter, social reformer, educationist and journalist, K. Kelappan Nair, who is also known as Kerala Gandhi. This day marks his 132nd birth anniversary. He was born on this day in 1889 in Calicut, Kerala. K. Kelappan was one of the main leaders who joined the non-cooperation movement. Playing a very dominant role in the Malabar region, he courted arrest on several occasions. In 1930, he led the salt satyagraha and marched to Payanur beach and made salt.
On the one hand, K. Kelappan fought for social reforms and on the other against the British. Besides, he also fought relentlessly against untouchability and caste-based discrimination. K. Kelappan played a crucial role in the unification of the state of Kerala. He was elected to Parliament in 1952. At the end of his term, he left active politics and became a Sarvodaya worker and was actively associated with the Bhudan movement in Kerala. He was also the president of many Gandhian organizations in the state.
On this day, legendary freedom fighter Beena Das was born in 1911 in Krishnanagar of the Bengal province. She is among the many women who were at the forefront of the freedom movement in Bengal. Beena Das gained prominence at the age of 21 when she opened fire on the governor of Bengal, Stanley Jackson, in the Convocation Hall of Calcutta University. Beena Das fired 5 bullets at Jackson from a close range.
Das served 9 years of hard labor for an act which stemmed from a deep desire to see a homeland free from British occupation. She was an active member of Chhatri Sangh, a women's student society that worked for India's freedom struggle.
Today is also the birth anniversary of Nittur Srinivas Rao, a Gandhian who participated in the independence movement. He served as the Chief Justice of the High Court of Mysore State.
In the 1930s and 1940s, he participated in the Indian independence movement. He worked for the Mysore State Unit of the Congress and actively participated in the civil disobedience movement. During the Quit India movement of 1942, he provided shelter to freedom fighters.
When Mahatma Gandhi visited Bangalore in 1927, Srinivas Rao took permission from him to translate his autobiography. He named the translation as Satya Shodhan. That brings us to the end of this episode of Azadi Ka Safar with AIR News. See you in next episode tomorrow.
भारत के स्वतंत्रता संग्राम में अनगिनत स्वतंत्रता सेनानियों ने अपने प्राणों की आहुति दी। कुछ इतिहास में अमर हो गए और कई गुमनाम। आजादी के अमृत महोत्सव के अंतर्गत 75 कड़ियों की श्रृंखला में हम उन वीरांगनाओं की बात करेंगे जिनका योगदान कभी भुलाया नहीं जा सकता। प्रत्येक मंगलवार परिक्रमा में सुनिए अपराजिता, देश की वीरांगनाओं को आकाशवाणी का सादर नमन।
After successfully hosting the Summer Olympic Games, the Japanese capital is set to host the Summer Paralympic Games. The global sporting spectacle will begin with a glittering opening ceremony at the Olympic Stadium in Tokyo today. The main concept of the opening ceremony is We Have Wings. High jumper and Rio Olympic gold medalist Mariyappan Thangavelu will be India's flag bearer at the event.
Before we end the bulletin, a reminder of today's question of the Amrit Mahotsav. Who set up the underground secret radio station during the Quit India movement, and on what date was its first broadcast that took place? Send your response on email amritmahotsavquiz@gmail.com. Celebrate 75 years of India's independence by participating in Amrit Mahotsav Quiz with AIR News. And now an overview of today's newspapers. Finance Minister unveils 6 trillion rupees plan to monetize assets. Headlines Business Standard. Roads to railways, rupees 6 lakh crore assets to be monetized. Ownership will remain with government, writes the Indian Express. Afghanistan crisis, government calls all-party meet to brief opposition and other leaders, is the headline in the Asian Age. US Vice President Kamala Harris vows enduring engagement in Asia, writes the Asian Age. Hindustan Times quotes the chairman of the National Technical Advisory Group on Immunization as saying that comorbid kids will be the first to get the shots. National Institute of Disaster Management has told the PMO that the third wave is imminent in September-October, reports the Tribune. If vaccination is not ramped up, cases will rise exponentially, says the panel, as reported by the Pioneer. And finally, the Supreme Court ruling that one cannot pry into the privacy of interfaith couples has been noted on the front page by Hindustan Times.
And now, before we end the bulletin, the headlines once again. Prime Minister Narendra Modi and German Chancellor Angela Merkel discuss Afghanistan situation, emphasize on giving urgent priority to evacuation of stranded people. Union Education Minister Dharmendra Pradhan to launch major initiatives of National Education Policy 2020 today. Centre announces national monetization pipeline to raise 6 lakh crore rupees over the period of next 4 years. Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman asks Infosys to resolve glitches in e-filing portal by 15th of September. India sets a target to achieve $400 billion merchandise exports in current financial year, says Commerce and Industry Minister. India's COVID-19 vaccination coverage crosses 58 crore 82 lakh mark. 2 terrorists, including top commander of Lashkar-e-Toiba, killed in an encounter in Jammu and Kashmir. And in sports, Paralympic Games to begin with glittering opening ceremony in Tokyo today. Rio Olympics gold medalist Mariyappan Thangavelu to be India's flag bearer at the event. And with that, we end the morning news. Have a nice day.